It's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly on KCMO Talk Radio.
Now on 95.7 FM.
Kansas City public officials continue to wake up from their half-a-decade woke slumber that they found themselves in. And the latest here comes from efforts to continue to curb illegal ATV and dirt bike activity on city streets. As KCTV5 reports, residents in the Crossroads have already felt the impact. From a positive perspective, here is some of their reporting on KCMO Talk Radio.
The ATVs and dirt bikes that once roared down these streets have largely disappeared thanks to ramped up police enforcement. And City Councilman Crispin Reyes says officers have a new tool at their disposal to keep it that way.
Before, they had to wait for some kind of street racing activity, some kind of performative act. These vehicles are not street legal, and that's always been the case. And so this just says they can now be impounded simply for being on the streets.
This new ordinance follows Councilman Reyes' weekly ride-alongs with KCPD during entertainment district crackdowns, operations that have already led to dozens of arrests and vehicle impounds.
So they're going to continue to arrest folks that do this dangerous stuff and confiscate their vehicles, and those are going to be the consequences.
Local businesses have been meeting with police every Monday to review the weekend's results. Right now, the feedback is clear. The strategy is working.
Why did this take so long? So now we have this measure that allows law enforcement to impound vehicles that are not street legal, even if they aren't actively engaged in racing or reckless behavior. So, yeah, I mean, you can't just roll down the block in an ATV, in certain kinds of dirt bikes. Why did this take so long? If this was an ordinance that was potentially at the disposal of law enforcement in Kansas City, Missouri, why did it take business owners literally begging their elected officials to do something about this for an ordinance like this to come into play? I mean, the cops can't do anything, right, until they've got basically the law on their side. Why does it get to the point that it has to get to in this town before it's like, all right, fine, we'll do something like this? We'll say, hey, it's not just about being reckless or committing a crime in your ATV. You can't be on the roads in an ATV in Kansas City, Missouri. It's welcomed, but it's also long overdue, and I just can't get myself to give too much credit to some of the elected leaders, as much as this is obviously a very good development, and I hope it works out for, most importantly, the business owners in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, the bad from the weekend. I'm driving home yesterday from the lake, and we're about 10 minutes from the house on 435, and I see the big Cybertruck in the middle lane. And on the back of the Cybertruck, there's a big Fire Elon sticker, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe it's just some guy who doesn't want to get his car keyed, so he puts on a Fire Elon sticker on the back of his truck. But then I pass him in the left lane, and I shouldn't have done this, but it's the end of a 3.5-hour drive coming back from Table Rock. You know, I got one kid, my stomach hurts. When are we going to be home? I'm sick of this. And I've just lost my cool. And I see this sticker on the side of the guy's Cybertruck, right on the driver's side door. And I just blurt out, and I shouldn't have done this because I don't like to curse in general, believe it or not. Since I do this for a living, I really try to not curse. That way I just talk on the air like I talk off the air for the most part. But, end of a long drive, kids are tired, in the back seat, and I see the sticker on the driver's side door, and I just blurt out. I don't think they heard me because they were listening to music, but I'm like, you have got to be bleeping kidding me. And the side of this guy's door has the sticker that reads, "This Tesla owner doesn't support fascists." And I'm like, goodness gracious, bro. And then I look at the guy, and this was not like a righty masking as a lefty so his car doesn't get keyed. This guy, I mean, he was total soy boy, triggered Elon man to the max here.
Wearing his mask while driving.
He did not have on a COVID mask while driving his Cybertruck, Mark, but that is a good question to ask. But I'm just like, come on, dude. Yes, the guy who is trying to save us from $37 trillion in debt is the real fascist around here. Not the politicians who drove us into $37 trillion in debt, lied to us every step of the way, and gave up this country and all of our future debt to foreign countries. Those aren't the fascists. Elon Musk is. Man, I'll tell you what, just goes to show you. Money doesn't buy you common sense. Just because you can own a Cybertruck does not mean that you have any common sense in your brain, John.
Yeah, it's all about buzzwords and bumper stickers.
It really is.
You know.
It really is,
Insurrection.
man. What do I do? How do I make sure my car doesn't get keyed by people I vote with? I'll put 2 stickers on my car.
I'm one of you guys, really.
Yeah, trust me. I'm on your side, guys. Don't you worry one bit. I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. Now, let's go to the ugly here from the weekend. That is the riots in Los Angeles. And there's a lot of ugly coming out of that. But as I'm reading through and looking at some of these pictures and videos from the protests, and we'll get to more of this with Bill O'Reilly in 10 minutes, I'm looking at some of these protesters, and it feels eerily similar to 2020 and how these are paid protesters. Like, I'm looking at guys, not just with COVID masks, I'm looking at these people with their gas masks. The protesters, not law enforcement. And it's like, who's sitting there on a Saturday morning in L.A. or around L.A.? Like, I'm really upset with what ICE is doing. I want to go join these protests. Bob, sure, let's go downtown and join the protests. I'm forgetting something. I got my car keys. I got my wallet. Oh, I forgot my gas mask. Of course.
God, I haven't used it since last year.
Like, who just happens to have a gas mask to bring down to a rally that came up out of nowhere in the last 48 hours? We weren't talking about protests in LA on Thursday when we got off the air. So these clearly are coordinated. Somebody is funding them, because it's not like, I left my keys at home. No, I forgot my gas mask at home. This is so eerily similar to every single one of these other carefully coordinated protests that they have manufactured over the last 10 years.